bullet to the head. A love story.
Written by Michael Arturo.
Part 4. A gunshot echoed through the New China Arts like a starting pistol for a nightmare.
Screams rang out. Glass shattered. Security ducked. Tommy's entourage went for their weapons. Someone tripped, and someone else was trampled. Bang! Another gunshot. Then 2 more. One of Tommy's men went down. The crowd surged like a wave breaking its banks onto Bayard Street.
Lillianne scanned for Eddie, but he was already gone. Swallowed by the tide or vanished of his own accord, she couldn't tell. Her head throbbed, the bullet inside pulsing like a sonar ping.
Meanwhile, Eddie took to the streets, just as rain began to fall. His heart slammed against his ribs as he ducked into an alley. He was now a hunted man, with a price tag on his head. A gunshot cracked the air, chipping brick inches from his skull.
He fell back, stumbled, then took off again. No time to see who fired at him. The rain turned the neon signs of Chinatown into bleeding watercolors, as Eddie latched onto a fire escape and climbed up 3 flights, across a rusted grate and over a wet rooftop. He paused, breath heaving, pulled his gun. 3 bullets. He crouched low, checking the street below. A shadow lingered, too steady for a drunk, too casual for a cop. Another shot rang out. Eddie returned fire, hitting metal. Then, a car screeched to a stop. It was Jimmy down below. Eddie whistled from the rooftop. "Jimmy, get the fuck down here," Jimmy shouted. Eddie didn't hesitate. He scampered down the fire escape like a hellcat, then swung his body weight off the last rung and onto the pavement. He slammed into a line of trash cans, careened into Jimmy's car door and got in. Inside, the windows fogged with breath and rain. "Words out," Jimmy said, peeling onto Pell. "Every psychotic punk with half a gun and a quarter brain thinks wasting you punches his ticket into Tommy's good graces." Eddie scanned the sidewalks. "You think Tommy gave the order?" Jimmy spat out the window. "Didn't have to. They're doing it for free. That painting turned you into a bounty." "I'm not leaving without Lillianne," Jimmy snorted. "Listen to you, man. What, you love her now or something stupid like that?" "Yeah, maybe." Eddie stopped cold, looked Jimmy straight in the eye and said, "So what? I'll admit it. I got it bad for her." "You're crazy, you know." "You told me not to, but I did it anyway. Had you said go on, do it, I wouldn't have done it. So it's your fault. You want to run that by me again?" "I've always been that way, doing the opposite of what I should do. We all got flaws. That's my flaw. Besides, you don't know what it's like being in love with a woman who knows she can die at any moment and embraces it like life itself, Jimmy." "Eddie, stop talking. You're not making sense. Yeah, she can die at any moment. Meanwhile, if she lives, you could be paying alimony to her for the rest of your life." "But I'm drawn like a moth to a flame. I'm getting you out of here," Jimmy shouted. "I told you she'd cost you." "You told me, Jimmy. You said it." Eddie's voice cracked. "But when I tell you Lillianne is the hottest woman who has ever lived, I'm not exaggerating." He leaned forward, eyes wide, hands trembling like he was still feeling the scorch. "She's insatiable. This is like sleeping with Satan's little sister. Her body doesn't just throw off heat, Jimmy. It emits, it radiates. I swear to God, I thought I was going to wake up with 2nd-degree burns." He paused. "And those eyes. Jesus, those black holes she calls eyes. They don't just look at you, they audit your soul. No hiding, no charm, no BS. She sees things, Jimmy." "What do you mean?" "She sees things. She knows if you're lying. She knows you're telling the truth. There's no wiggle room." "Romantic. Just so we're clear, you're in love with that," Jimmy said dryly. "Yeah, when you look past the space heater succubus with the X-ray guilt vision," Eddie said, voice softening. "There's a real woman there, real vulnerabilities. Don't forget, she's got a bullet stuck in her head. When she orgasmed in my arms, Jimmy, I thought she was gonna implode. I said my fucking Hail Marys. Should have never brought you down here. You're losing your grip. You used to be level-headed. Eddie, I need you to shake down some gimp who owes me money." "Sure, Jimmy, no problem." "Eddie, do some pickups for me on Amsterdam. Anything you need, Jimmy." Eddie stared out the windshield. "How the hell does this happen? I wasn't there that night. You know I wasn't there. I didn't even know her. How do I end up as the would-be assassin she painted?" Jimmy chuckled darkly. "It's a Taoist curse, is what it is. Ever hear of mirrored time? Parallel moments? Taoist folklore is full of weird shit that don't make sense. Lillianne gets shot in the head, and she lives. Does that make sense? In what world? An event of that nature throws all of the mechanisms of predictability and logic into disarray." "What's that again, Tao?" "Yeah, the Tao. It's Chinese for how everything is connected.
So everything is in disarray, but connected.
Jimmy sighed. I get exasperated trying to explain things to you.
You just said.
Eddie, listen. Maybe you're not the guy who pulled the trigger, but you rhyme with him. You echo. When you stepped into Lillianne's life, you tripped a switch. Time is not linear, and now you're looking back into a fraction mirror. It's not you, but it's your destiny.
So, I'm not the guy, but it might as well be me. Okay, now you're not making sense. Course not, because you're looking for answers in Chinatown when you should be running.
Jimmy hit the brakes. Red light on canal.
You want sense? Go back to Columbus Avenue. Here, you get prophecy. You get karma. You get ghosts.
A car pulled up beside them.
Jimmy's eyes twitched. Shit. Gunfire tore through the window.
Pop, pop, pop.
Jimmy collapsed, blood soaking the dash. The car veered. Eddie grabbed the wheel.
He swerved to the curb, jumped out, heart hammering.
Another shot whistled past. Eddie ran behind him. Chinatown howled. End of part 4.